Men's experience, generally speaking, is, although it's changed to some degree in recent years, is that the most probable answer to the question, will you give me your phone number, is, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Right. So exactly. So the probability of rejection is very, very high. And these women that have all these things going for them are also terrifying targets for rejection. Women prefer men who are about 4 to 5 years older than them, and they marry across and up dominance hierarchies. So there's the evidence for this with regards to IQ is quite clear. As a woman's IQ increases, the probability that she'll be married decreases. And the reason for that is that she's looking, you imagine a very accomplished woman. I've known many, many extremely accomplished women. Okay, so the women I'm talking about, and I've known, I would say, several dozen of them because of the work I do in consulting. Yeah. Most of the women I've known who are like this are lawyers, but many of them are businessmen or partners in consulting firms or professors for that matter. So these women are often, say they're about 29 to 30, something in that range. Hey? Yeah. They're very attractive. They're very well put together. They're very physically fit. They're extremely conscientious. They're very, very career focused and driven. And they're extraordinarily intelligent.
Cut his throat. Stop. Oh, wait. I've changed my mind. Let him go.
Well, they intimidate every man who comes near them. I mean,
yeah, I can imagine.
And it isn't because they're acting in an intimidating manner, although they do. It's also because men tend to mate across and down dominance hierarchies. And there just aren't that many men who are attractive, 30, very career focused, very conscientious, very well put together physically, very intelligent, and earning a very high salary. Like the number of guys like that who are also unattached. Like there aren't any guys like that.
Yeah. And I mean,
you add one more dimension to that, which is that a 29 to 30-year-old woman, say, brings a problem to the table that a 23 to 25-year-old woman does not bring to the table, which is that she wants to have a child tomorrow, whereas a 25-year-old woman wants to have a child sometime in the next 5 years. And so unless the guy that she's looking for, this 29-year-old woman, is like ready to go at the drop of a hat, then it's easier for him to just pick a younger woman who is also not as intimidating. And so this happens all the time. And there's no place to lay blame. It's just how it is. I mean, I understand why these women are doing what they're doing. No woman wants to find a man she has to support. And the reason for that is because she's actually looking for support because she wants to have children. And that's perfectly reasonable. But there are circumstances under which that radically reduces the domain of choice that's left for certain women. You know, the thing is, women also underestimate the degree to which men are terrified by women.
Yeah.
You know, and it's because men's experience, generally speaking, is, although it's changed to some degree in recent years, is that the most probable answer to the question, will you give me your phone number, is, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Right. So the probability of rejection is very, very high. And these women that have all these things going for them are also terrifying targets for rejection. And men also assume that, well, they must be flooded with requests. And they don't even bother, you know. And then the age thing also kicks in hard. And this is one of the things that makes women's lives particularly complicated, in my estimation, is that they have to solve all the complicated problems of life in the time from the age of 20 to the age of 35. And men just don't have to do that. So the pressure isn't there for men. And so as women move towards their 30s, the power relationship between men and women also starts to transform because, I mean, there's almost nothing less valued than a young man. But that starts to change as men move towards their 30s if they're successful. Whereas there's almost nothing more valued than a young woman. But that changes as women move towards their 30s. So these are biological facts that make the mating situation, let's say, extraordinarily complicated and also quite tragic and even catastrophic. But there's no easy solution on the horizon. It's not like anybody knows what to do about it.
there was I can't remember the name of the female actress, but she was, I don't know, 50-something. And she was in a newspaper being interviewed, and she was complaining that male actors tend to, when they get older, they cultivate gravitas. People respect them because they're old and they're grey. Whereas with older women, people aren't interested. And it's one of those things, well, if you look back at your career, you made a lot of your success came from your looks, you know, and you flaunted that. You used makeup, you wore low-cut tops, and you did photo shoots, and, you know, you appeared in a few racy movies to get yourself noticed and things like this. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, you were taking advantage of a natural gift that you had, and that has gone because of the passage of time. A man never had that option, so he had to explore other ways to try and make himself be noticed. And so it's not surprising that after cultivating his personality, because he couldn't cultivate his physical looks in the same way, you end up with a different result at the end of that.